Hello everyone. So we're going to start a new coil project. I'm not really clear yet what I'm going to assign. So for now I just want to show you the technique. I think I'm going to have you do like an arm or a leg or a foot or a hand, but we're going to go kind of tall. Coil builds always from down to up. And if you want to have a different orientation, you can always build from down to up and then lift it up a little bit, flip on the side. Let's say if you build something like this, and then you flip on the side once it's set up, or stuff it full of newspaper so it keeps its shape. Then you can start building down to up like this. So you can get like an L shape or that kind of a shape or something. But let's not get into that yet. I just want to show you how to do the coil, how to put coils together, and also how to support it if you want to branch out into like fingers or something like that. This is going to be a much different project than if you're at the studio, so this will be a lot. I just want you to have experience working with coil. And this is sculpture, so let's make some. So, grab out some clay. Is this in the way? Okay. So I grab out some clay, and I give myself a head start. I just start squeezing it into, kind of a coil. So I get a head start this way rather than just starting with a ball of clay. Put it down here. And I give myself plenty of room to roll. I see people just like stacking stuff here, and they're like that. You can't roll like that. You got to have it like nice and wow, like that. So I go at it. I'm using this part of my hands, and I go at it, and I go to the sides. And I come back to the middle, and go back out to the sides. Now, if it gets a little bit like a flat tire, did you hear that? So it's oblong. You can see it goes oblong rather than round. Get it up on its edge, tap it back to kind of square. And then gently go over those corners and go at it. Now mine's going a little bit oblong. I think my clay's a little dry. That's kind of a problem. Usually it goes oblong because you're pushing a little hard. Could be I'm just out of shape too. I haven't done a coil for a while, but I've done a lot of coil. Now I'm gonna be smushing these together, so that's not gonna be a problem anyway. Now, I'm ready to have a coil here. Okay, so coiling, just lay it right on top of the other one, like that. Okay, let me make another coil. If you push too hard, it's going to be really hard. So I would recommend pushing a little less hard than hard. You can sort of feel it with your hands. I kind of do it with my eyes closed sometimes. You can feel where it's a little thicker. You can spend a little time on that. Yeah, this is a much nicer coil. Okay. So I can go ahead and put this on here. And we can start talking about things. I have a place to start. So, I'll probably want to smush these together unless I want the coil to be part of the design. But let's not worry about that right now. I think you're going to have to either smush this together on the outside or the inside, or these things are going to fall apart. Let's see here. Yeah. And while I have them separated like this, let me show you how I move the coil. Like I could make this thing go out like this, or I could make it go in. So the way I would do that is how I lay the coils on each successive time. So let's say if I want the thing to come in. So I go like this, and I'd lay this on the inside part of the last coil, depending on how much of movement I want to make. I could put this one on the inside part of this coil. And now you can see how it's all kind of coming in, like this, right? Conversely, if I wanted to go out, I would put this on the outside part of the last coil. You don't want to ever be going horizontally because it's going to collapse on you. But you can have sort of, change the direction and a little more tame. If it's up towards the top, you can do that. You just can't stand the weight too much of. Let's say if I go way out like this, that's pretty severe, and I have a lot of weight on this thing, it's going to want to collapse like that. So you want to be a little bit careful about that. So that's how you move the coils around. Then you could go, if you want to go in, put it on the inside part of the last coil, If you want it to go out, put it on the outside part of the last coil. You can also go, you can make it go like this by putting it, for instance, on the inside part over here and on the outside part over here. So you can see it start traveling that way. And then I can start reversing and start going on the outside part of this and coming on the inside part of this and start making it come around that way. So I can make it, make it do double helix, I can make it do anything, okay? So that's how you move the coils. Let me go ahead and just go sort of straight ahead here. Maybe I'll put a little movement. So I'll put this on here. I'm going to smush this together. So I always support, if I'm smushing on the inside, I always support it on the outside. If I'm smushing the outside, like this, I always support it on the inside. You know, this, the tongue depressor side of your knife tool, am I too close or am I okay? Can use this too. You just go like that, and just, and it actually works maybe better than your finger even. Sometimes I like to feel it with my finger. Again, you have to smush either the inside or the outside for it to work. I do both, because the coils, I never use coils as part of my design. Inside probably easier, use your finger. And by the way, I would not go any higher than 3 layers at a time before you smush your coils together, because you can't get your finger in there very easily. So 3 layers at a time and then smush. And then you can get a rib in there if you want to make it more even. I'll do it on the outside too so you can see. So I can start actually really finishing this up nicely with the rib, or just initially. I can work on it later. Okay. So that's basically the technique. Let me show you one other thing. If you wanted to show your coils, which we'll talk about even more at length in a second, but if I wanted to show my coils and I wanted to have nice layered, like the way I had them on here now before was sort of like, here we're going, because I'm putting them on top of each other, they're not sort of straight, they're like at an angle. So if I wanted to be really precise with my coils, let me show you how to work that. You know, I need a better coil. Some people like really getting really tight with the coils, which is a lovely look. Looks like baskets and stuff. I think I showed my PowerPoint. I'll show you different things that people leaving the coils even. So that's good. So what you do, be more precise, is you lay this down, you overlap it, cut it at an angle, take away the excess clay, so it fits like a bracelet. Now there's one layer. I can work this together now. And I'll work it together before I move on to the next thing. Let me do the next layer. So I put this on top. Now I don't want to put the joint at the same place the other joint was. That creates a weakness. So I'll go someplace else and join it. So I'll go here, overlap it, cut it at an angle, take off the extra clay, work this in. And I can work it in nicer. I'm just going fast for you guys. But you can see how the layers are now, they're nice and parallel with each other. I still have to join it on the inside or the outside. Maybe I just want the inside coils to show, not the outside. But I still have to go back in here and join. By doing the inside, I go like that. So anyway, that's a way of having very precise, beautiful looking, even coils. Again, I don't worry about it. I just smush everything together so I can work on it as and coils are not part of it. But also another way of making coils part of your sculpture. You can build portions of walls with different patterns of coiling. for instance, like I do a little sort of Charlie Brown shirt pattern, like that. I still have to squish it together on the inside. And then I'll put it over here and join that on. So it looks like that from that side. And from this side it looks like that. Then, or maybe I want to do people love snails. See a lot of snails in ceramics. Snail. Put the snail on, work it in. I can add some extra clay in the hole right here. I just can, so you can see there's a hole right here. So I'll stuff all the clay behind there and just work it in. It's clay, it's malleable. You can stick it on. And I can build the wall around that part. I'll show you that. So what I would do then is I'd build a wall here. And then double back on it. Come around here. Double back on it. And then smush it in on the inside, okay? And that would all be joined on the inside, if that makes sense, okay? So that's the way of playing with coils. Now, one other thing. Let's say I've gotten up here. Let me just go ahead and build this up a little bit more. I'll smush it in so I can work on it. Let's say I got this cylinder coming up like this, and I want to branch out. I want to have a couple things coming out or more than a couple things. What I want to do is I can just build a wall across here, and it doesn't have to go all the way down the bottom. As long as it's about 1.5 inches. Let me just show you. If I try to put a coil over that open space, let me show you what happens. So let's say if I want to start coiling right here and start going out right here, and I'll do something, maybe 2 of them come out here. What happens is this part is unsupported, will just fall in. So I want to support that with a wall in there. The wall, again, doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom. It can just be, about 1.5 inches thick or so, or wide. And I make a little flange here to give us more joining power on the sides. So it actually has. So I can put this in like this, or any shape I want. I could put another wall in over here. Pretend that's a wall. It's not very good. So now I can coil from here. Let me do this. Let me do it. I'm going so fast. I'm not. Now it's not going to go falling in. I'm going to build there. I can build off of here, and I can even build off of I don't have to make it go all the way around. I can use this wall as part of it and just join it in. It's clay, you just join it together. And I can also join over here. I should probably go up a little higher so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm assuming you know what I mean, but you might not. So I can build something here. So you can see right now I've got 3 areas now I can start building off of. I can start branching out. And this is clay, so it's malleable. I can start sculpting it and make it look really nice, really super duper duper smooth, and really, really, anal and look, whatever your style is. Or I can keep it rough hewn. But anyway, that's how you support things, so you can kind of branch out. Coil will take you a little bit longer to build with, so make sure you cover up your project when you're not working on it. Very important. You might even want to put a little paper toweling or wet paper toweling up on the top. You get it wet and put it over just the top inch or so, just to keep that part moist with the part you're still building on and working on. Because it will be nice as you're working that as you get up taller, this will start setting up and become stronger as it dries out, which you want. That's good. But not if you want to keep working on it. Okay? That's good. And you can ask me questions about if you want to do some other kind of thing where you start turning outside and build elsewhere. We can talk about that. But for now, that's just basically the coil technique. Main thing is learning how to move the coils in and out, but how you place them, and then keeping it supported to make branching out, and then how to leave. If you want to leave the coil exposed as part of your decoration, it can be quite lovely. Thank you.